How's it going, guys? I'm here with the game designer on Call of Duty Black Ops 4. This is the interview I've been waiting all E3 to have. Mr. Tony Flame, such a pleasure to meet you, sir. Thank you for making a few minutes for us today.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. I don't know, where do we even begin? Let's start in the beginning. One of the biggest decisions you guys made in Black Ops 4, which is dropping the story mode campaign. Tell me about that decision, how that came about.
Well, if you look at Treyarch and how we make narrative games, going back to World at War, you've got the ultimate good versus evil struggle there, right? So we already had that to start with way back in the day. So when we got into Black Ops narratives and campaigns, we always told a different story, right? It wasn't about good versus evil anymore. It was about shades of gray. It was about messing with your head. It was about throwing curveballs at you. And we upped the ante every single time. And with Black Ops 3, you saw the introduction of specialists in multiplayer. Really interesting characters that were really just really begging for a story around them. So with Black Ops 4, from the very outset, we said we want to craft a story around specialists, and we want to craft a new story that we've never been able to tell before. And what that ended up turning into was having an online experience where you can always be playing together and crafting a narrative around the characters in that experience. If everyone's spending all their time in multiplayer, let's focus our narrative. Our narrative is going to be the strongest it can be when we wrap that into the gameplay that everyone's interacting with.
It kind of makes sense, because you guys get the stats. What percentage of people actually finish the campaign versus who's playing online?
I don't have the stats offhand, but we've definitely seen through those sort of analytics, we use that as part of the decision making, right? And we have a lot of people playing together in multiplayer, and we've got a lot of people playing together in zombies, and that's where the majority of the time is being spent. Even if players do finish the campaign, then they go and they spend so much more time online.
Multiplayer, yeah.
Right? So there's so much more opportunity to enrich that experience. Yeah. And when you look at what we've done with multiplayer, how we have 3 zombies experiences on launch day instead of just 1, fully fledged experiences, each packed with Easter eggs and mysteries, and then you've got the entire world of Blackout, Battle Royale style, filled to the brim with Call of Duty Black Ops content, then there's a lot to experience there.
We're going to touch on Blackout in just a minute, because that's one of the things that raised my eyebrows. Let's talk more about the specialists, something that I loved in Black Ops 3. You've increased the roster. There's a South African specialist. I'm South African, if you didn't know. So yeah. That's a big deal for me. I just want to hear more about his backstory and what he's all about.
Yeah, so I believe you're talking about Crash, who is our medic, and he's a great introductory player for new players who are maybe a little bit intimidated by multiplayer. You can jump in with Crash and you can be a support for your entire team. You can put supply assault packs down, which not only give your team ammo, but they also give an extra bonus when you get a kill or an assist. And that's for your entire team. And for your special weapon, you pull out a device that connects to everyone's healing equipment on their body, and you can heal and buff the entire team.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So it's an example of an approach to Black Ops 4 where there's really something for everybody. If you're a committed Call of Duty player who's great with guns and core systems, all those have been built from the ground up to support that. And there's roles to play for support characters as well.
Okay, sweet. Sounds like a powerful character. Does he have the local accent? Does he sound a little bit like me?
Yeah. Just so we've taken what worked so well in Black Ops 3 and really taken it even farther. So every single specialist that you're going to select is just going to have a robust personality. They're going to have hilarious lines. They're going to be interacting with each other, and they're going to be building stories with each other as you play through the game, and you're going to see the relationships between each specialist. And we've made sure that we've, through our cast of specialists, been able to represent all sorts of different nationalities, genders from across the world, all sorts of different cultures. It's very important for us in our specialist design to do that. I'm very happy with how that's going, and we're just going to keep on keeping on. That's awesome stuff. Glad to hear South Africans in the game. Let's talk about the engine for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Now, I know you guys are taking on a BR mode this time, which is very ambitious. How is the engine going to handle that sort of? I mean, I think I remember that the maps are going to be 1,500 times bigger than Nuketown. That's a lot of real estate. How's the engine going to handle that, plus maybe an increased player count? Well, we've been making Call of Duty Black Ops games for a long time, and a lot of times we don't know if we can do something until we figure out how to do it. So in terms of the engine, across the board, we've made improvements to the pure gunplay and the mechanics, the things that have not been changed in Call of Duty ever. We have changed and rebuilt them from the ground up in terms of core gameplay mechanics, whether it's health, movement, gunplay, combat, situational awareness. And then you look at something that's very obvious, like Blackout on a huge map. And I mean, in terms of how we've done it, I'm not an engineer, but I know that our engineers have basically worked magic.
They're dark wizards just hanging out in the office there.
Yeah, because you're used to the Call of Duty experience that's just at a 10, the whole time.
Smooth, polished.
Yeah, and when you walk into that and it's Call of Duty, you're like, okay, I'm in Call of Duty, and you look out at the vastness of the map that you can explore, it's kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
And you're not looking at it through a lens of Battle Royale. You're looking at it through a lens of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's a giant world that is also Battle Royale.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Player count? Can you maybe leak what sort of player count we're in for?
Can't pronounce anything.
I
on
tried.
that yet, but I can tell you that we are working with that all the time to get the right size and count and everything, so that it's the best experience. We want there to be great pacing, so that you've got great spikes in awesome Call of Duty combat, and you've also got times where you're preparing, you're scavenging, you're gathering. So that's what's important to us, right? Is getting that gameplay pacing right, and we'll get those details will be coming out soon.
Okay, cool. So obviously, like you said, coming out soon. How long until we can actually see some BR gameplay? Maybe in the next month or two?
I don't have the schedule, but there's definitely gonna be more information coming. We're releasing on October 12th, so that's not too far out. So yeah, there'll be more to come soon.
It's gonna be on the disc day one.
Absolutely, yeah. Blackout will be available on October 12th for everybody.
What is the one little nitbit of information you can give me that you haven't given one other journalist in the entire press conference? And don't lie to me, because I'm gonna go do the research to make sure it's true. One little tidbit,
Okay.
golden nugget.
Well, okay, I've got a thing that I was planning on, so that I haven't gotten to say it yet. So I don't know if it's gonna fit the tidbits. Maybe a little bit bigger than a tidbit. Okay, so I'm gonna give you this. This is an example of how specialist play can come to fruition, and how what I was saying before about you don't have to be good about firing your weapon, but you can, as a team, you can plan and strategize to take out your opponent. So here's an example of how, let's say you've got an enemy team and they are holed up in a bunker, and you know that it's gonna be tough to get in there. Here's how you can take that position without firing a single shot from your normal infantry weapon. All right, so you've got Recon. He's gonna fire a sensor dart, and that sensor dart is gonna tell you the positions of those enemies in there. So you got some intel. All right, next up is Ajax. He's gonna pull out his specialist weapon, which is a shield, and he's gonna charge in. He's gonna be taking bullets, blocking them, and what he can actually do when he's in fortification mode is he's got a machine pistol, so he can start softening up targets. Behind him is Battery. She pulls out her grenade launcher, her specialist weapon. She helps finish the job that Ajax started. That position is cleared. In comes Firebreak. He does his reactor core, which means no one's getting in there for about 5 seconds or so. It's just it's area denial, right? So that area is clear. And then lastly, to finish the job, Torque comes in, puts down his razor wire, sets up his barricade. That position now belongs to your team, and you didn't have to use any of your standard Call of Duty gunplay, which, by the way, is there all the time for the players that are really good at it.
Cohesion. If you work as a team, you can move mountains. Let's talk about the team play and multiplayer. But how are you guys taking the team play and multiplayer to the next level?
So it all comes from a perspective of making the game more tactical from the outset. We wanted to make a more tactical experience, while at the same time really lifting up all of the core foundations of what makes Call of Duty great. Great gunplay, a really snappy fights, really rewarding encounters. So because of the health model that we've got now, not only do you have more health, so you could take more bullets, explosives, what have you, but in order to counteract that, you have to go manually heal, right? So there's a decision point there. It's not just you're just going to sit out of combat for a few seconds. You actually have to hit a button.
Yes,
you are going to put, in that case, you are going to put your gun down because it's a significant action. And that's a design choice that we made. Although there are ways to optimize so that you don't have to put your gun away. So the health model is an example of just the tactical gameplay. Beyond that, you've got the specialists, of course, which every person on the team is going to have a unique role to play. So you're going to have to have your team counting on you to do your job, and you're going to be counting on every member of your team to do their job as well. So you're going to have enough time to strategize, figure out what your team composition is going to be, how it's going to play against the other team, and then you get down and dirty with the actual combat and execution, making it happen.
And if you want to lone wolf it, will you be punished if you try?
So we've also designed specialists for lone wolves, right? Ruin is a great example, right here.
That's the guy.
Yeah, he's got his grapple gun. So if you're a lone wolf, you're going to be leaving everyone else in the dust by moving around the map, zip around, flanking. And then you've got gravity slam for when you flank far enough around, you can take out a whole group of enemies by getting right up in their face. And that pairs really well with run and gunning, SMGs, ARs, typical Slayer type of gameplay. We know that there's different Slayer roles. Not every Slayer is going to be up in your face. So there's different characters for that as well. Sarah, for example, she can keep her distance, she can hold her ground. But there are specialists who are designed for those players who are running gunners.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I'm a bit of a lone wolf myself. Dangerous Dave hunts alone. You guys know that. So that's good to hear. Tony Flame, thank you so much for this exclusive interview. I know you guys are busy. Really appreciate your time. The game is out October 12th.
October 12th, yeah.
Got it? October 12th, guys. I've had hands-on. I'm going to get more hands-on in just a moment, as well as some exclusive gameplay for you guys. It's looking phenomenal. Until the next video,